for that. So
Good morning, everybody. It's July 28th, the officially near the end of July, almost approaching the end of summer. School's going to start beginning in a couple of weeks for most of the school districts. So glad to have some of you guys all here with us today for today's sales meeting. I'm broker Kelvin Chang, and as always, like to get our affiliates and just partners in real estate, people who really provide value to our clients, services to help us do real transactions and having solutions for people. So, with that said, I wanted to start off with Scott Shimamoto. He's going to talk to us about financing and loans. Scott, you there?
yes, thank you very much, Kelvin, for letting us participate. And let me go early. Okay, so right now we're in a crazy rate scenario where rates are going up and down and this and that, right? And so some of your buyers are going to be nervous about jumping in right now. And my answer to that is that old Chinese saying, when is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago, right? So right now, people are, if they're trying to catch the rate wherever it's at, they're looking at it too short term. They need to be looking at this as a long term investment. And, 20 years from now, they're not going to be wondering, or worried about what rate they locked in now because we're going to refinance them later anyway. It's going to be one of those marry the house and date the rate situations. And, 20 years from now, they're going to gain so much equity even if it goes up by 3% a year. But we know like sometimes it really accelerates. And every time we think the prices of the houses can get no higher, they do get higher. So down the road, that's what we need to be selling. This is a long-term investment. If they're just trying to flip a house or something, those are investors. That's a different kind of buyer. But people who need to buy a house because they need to live somewhere, they need to be looking at this thing long-term. So us as real estate professionals, we need to be letting our clients know that this is what it's like. Um, I can explain this to your clients if you let me help with the pre-approval. I'll give them like my experience on the houses I've bought and the kind of equity growth I've gotten and the refinances I've done and why the rate today is not the thing that should get them out of the market. If they wait for the rate to get where they want, they might get priced out of the market and never be able to buy a house. So that's my message for the day. You guys have any questions, please give me a call, 626-399-1525. And tell me if you have any questions, I'll answer them now, or otherwise we'll give it back to the room.
Okay. No, I hear you, Scott. It's always like true. With the best time to buy was, yesterday. And, it was just to me, the rates still going to remain elevated for the foreseeable future. So that's the issues. Like if you really do want housing, you want to be closer to work or you want to whatever upsize, downsize, any of these situations, um, these these rates are high, but the more important figure is the actual price that you're paying for the property. And what I'm finding and learning is people are getting some amazing deals under the asking price, negotiating and getting all the credits and repairs that they want on their request for repairs after investigations. So the leverage in this market right now for the buyers is very strong. So it's really showing what I predicted months ago with all of you guys that this is turning into a buyer's market where you have choices, many options, and many inventory that we had that in comparison to the recent years past. When everyone's fighting for real estate, that's when sellers get multiple offers and there's a lot of only one person can get picked. Right now, a lot of sellers are only dealing with just a few offers. And to that's when you can get the terms. Who cares if you're paying 6.7% interest rate if you get a property that's 100,000 under the asking price?
Exactly. And the average person out there does not understand this. So that's why, like Kelvin said, like the average buyer out there is holding out. And so there's less buyers in the market, right? So
Mhm.
it's the whole supply and demand thing. So econ 101. But that's that's the average person. We're not average people. We are business, real estate professionals. So we need to act like that and we need to advise our clients that way. So
And
that's right?
Well, totally correct. That's kind of we're doing consulting in a little bit of a sense and really just planning for their future and giving a heart and just being mindful of of the general well-being of others. So that's what we should do all as professionals is help each other out.
Exactly.
That's how communities are built, and that's what we sell, communities. So I'm gonna jump on to
Thank you, Kelvin.
John Wax, Snap NHD.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. John Wax, Snap NHD, Natural Hazard Disclosures. The market is hot. There's a lot more activity out there. Yes, the weather is hot. No matter what you're doing, have as many conversations as possible. Door knocking in the late afternoon, bringing water with you, reaching out to past clients, using your social media, using AI. AI is really good, giving good information with a AI touch. And if you're trying to word stuff, it can really help you word the proper, that maybe you don't have the right words. You give it something, it will be able to put it in, but don't trust it entirely. Make sure you read it first before you put it out there. But the other thing is, there's not a problem until there is a problem. So order the Snap NHD report up front. Take it with you on a listing appointment. Definitely once you get your listing, you only pay if it closes, but you have the information at your fingertips. If you're holding open house and they ask you a question, let me check instead of wait till we get to escrow or wait till I order it. You have it right there. You're able to check it out. Hazard Preview or the property tax estimator are great tools for you. Whether you're working sellers or buyers, you want to have the valuable information. I bring you 32 years of experience. We have $100 million of E&O insurance to protect you guys. And I wish you a great end of the first month. I can't believe it's the first month of the third quarter. And I'll put my information in the chat. Check out my website for the tools. And if you have any questions, I'm doing a lot of trainings and one-on-ones. If you want a three-way call with your client, I'm here to assist you and to make the transactions smoother. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here, Kelvin.
All right,
And
thank you. Oh yeah,
appreciate it.
definitely great words of wisdom. I'll get into the I'll get into First American. So let's go ahead and have Sandy. I saw you here before the rest of the Eagles. So Sandy, come on.
First Eagle Landing. Hey everyone, Sandy Frank, First American Home Warranty. Remember, you are a CRES office. It is important. It's important to your NHD. It's important to your home warranty. When you combine the two together, if you're a listing agent, you're looking at $75,000 of E&O for your seller. Are there not limitations? Are there restrictions? Yeah, but you don't use it, you don't get the benefit, right? So then you're leaving it on the table and not doing the best you can for your client. It also provides the agent with a $5,000 reduction in their deductible should something happen. Like, free people, you're going to get a home warranty anyway. Get one that protects you, get one that protects your seller. Because let's face it, a home warranty is not just for the buyer. It's to protect the seller from the buyer after the close of escrow. Okay, that's what the home warranty was born for, to get rid of some of this nonsense that happens after the close of sale. So get the right one, get the one that protects you, get the one that protects your seller. Been in the business for 22 years, happy to answer any questions. It's hot, stay cool. Don't expect more from your air conditioner than it can possibly do. That's my word of wisdom. And stay indoors and you'll be fine. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hold on, Angie and Brandon. I'm going to let Tina Andrews come on in for Choice Home Warranty. Tina.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Happy day. It's an option. It's a choice. We'd love to have you in. We're here to help and protect you. And if the homeowner buyer does not, they waive their warranty, that means that they don't know what they're waiving. I'm happy to talk to your buyers and sellers to provide information and education to help them make the right decision to protect their property and asset. We are 13 months at $75 a service call. I love speaking with your clients. I can help the education. I'm into the education. I'm overeducated at that master's degree. I don't know if it's helping me or not. But anyway, I'm happy to work with all of you guys. I'm wishing all of us a well Wednesday. Happy to work with you. And thank you so much, everyone. Have a great one.
Thank you, Tina. All right, and appreciate you having here. And Angie, can you come on up and share it to us everyone in the title world?
Of course. Hi, everyone. Angie Tang, First American Title. So, we are an industry leader in title. And the reason why I say that is because as fraud is rising, and I'm going to keep on pounding that fraud thing, the reason why is because it's so prevalent. The more you guys know about it, the more you're more educated about it, the easier you are to be able to spot them. And so, what we're doing on the forefront is that we're constantly evolving and bringing items to the industry to help with fraud and mitigate it. So as you know, we've talked about the remote online notary where we have that option through First American. It's not a third party, it's through First American. We have the remote online notary. We also have the fraud title monitoring. So every buyer that gets a policy to First American, they get the free title monitoring for life. This is another thing that we are the only title companies that offer that through First American. Thirdly, we also have now a what's it called? They just rolled out, I think yesterday. I think everybody should have gotten an email from First American for translation. So the more communication between all parties, there isn't going to be any or not any, but less discrepancy with understanding what the translations are, like what they're saying. That's why we've now built out a translation portal. So that's another thing that we've added to our repertoire of trying to mitigate title insurance fraud. So now that it's a buyer's market, keep in mind that you can use these resources to let the client know that they shouldn't have as much worry in the real estate market because you're getting the best protection from First American. So those are the three. I know there's one more. I can't think of it now, but there's another thing that we just implemented as well, besides the fraud title monitoring, the RON. I forget what it was, but anyways, we're on the forefront. We're here helping you grow your business, but not only that, now it's also the securing part of the insurance policy. So we're here to help you grow your business and insure it. Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Next I'll call up is Brandon, and then I'll get I have Nicole and Jaden later, and then I also have Matthew. Okay, so Brandon, you are ready?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm the third eagle flying in here.
Good
The
morning.
Eagles have landed.
Kelvin, you want me to go next?
Oh no, next
that correct?
after Brandon.
Okay.
I don't
real
know
quick.
if you froze. My phone's joined. If you guys can hear me, Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title.
Maybe the bad internet.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brandon. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Third eagle here. So on the NHD side, what I have seen a lot of people, when they're getting their listings, just remember, if you have a home in a high fire zone, that you need to make sure that you talk to me about filling out the FHDS with your client. I've had a lot of people wait to do this until they get to escrow. And the only thing about waiting is that if you have any hiccups or you have to do an inspection, it's just going to make your listing potentially have to wait to close. So the earlier you get on this, especially if these homes are in the high fire zone, it's just going to make it easy for your clients and you. I would never want it to be where you're trying to close and you can't close an FHDS form. You have to get an inspection to make sure the property is free and clear. So just do your clients and yourself a favor and make sure that if it's in the high fire zone, which you can check with me if it's in it before you even get the listing. But when you get the listing, once you find out if it's in the fire zone, just make sure that you're doing all this ahead of time. It's just going to help you and your clients. The other thing, don't forget about the tax information within the NHD. A lot of people forget that we provide the Melrose taxes, supplemental taxes, and we have our tax estimator. These are all things that you can do ahead of time to help your clients. And I always tell agents, order your NHD and your prelim as soon as you get your listings. If you're representing the buyers, make sure that you're getting onto the conversation about insurance as soon as possible. So you can reach out to me anytime. Call me if you have questions about the FHDS. And I hope everyone has a fantastic week.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon, for that. And then I don't know if Nicole, you wanted to come back on or not. Can you hear me? Nicole?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The phone keeps cutting in and out. I'm sorry, Brandon. Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. Thank you, Kelvin. Can you hear me okay?
You're okay.
It's not cutting out, is it? I just wanted I just wanted to comment on Scott's remarks with regards to the buyers. Reminder, in our Fidelity Agent app, that is our buyer seller closing cost app. You have the ability to go in there and pull marketing collateral that talks about buy now, buy later. And this is great information that you can share with your buyers to show them, look, this is why you should buy now, as Kelvin was saying as well. With the rates, being higher, you have less competition. So as soon as those rates drop, you're going to have more competition, and obviously the prices are going to go up, and obviously multiple offers. So just remember, Fidelity Agent One, you have the ability to pull that information at your fingertips from your desktop, your mobile device, and I'm here to support your title needs. I service all types of transactions, including construction loans. I can do subdivision sellouts, as well as your residential, commercial, and vacant land. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful rest of July month end, and thank you for your support. Have a great day.
Okay. Thanks for popping in and actually being physically here, Nicole. Next I'll have up is Jaden and then Matthew. Jaden, Elite Group.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kelvin, by the way, for having me here today. I'm Jaden with
Having a lot of bad connection.
Yeah, I think Jaden, I think your internet right that location is slower. Maybe you're in the
if we have not met before. We offer more than just standard home inspections. We also do mold, and then within mold, we do swab testing and indoor air quality testing. We also do termite inspection.
Okay. Jaden, I'm gonna cut you out right now, okay? Because the connection is really. I heard you guys are doing all types of inspections. Elite Group is awesome because have a lot of coverage area and are all in one-stop shop. So talk to Jaden if you have to make any orders. Appreciate you, Jaden. And Matthew, you ready to go? I think I saw you pop in the video. You're on mute.
Hey, am I up? I don't, these connection issues are kind of affecting me too. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I hear you okay.
Yeah, I'll make this super short and brief. Guys, did you know that in Pasadena, July 2025 through 2026, there was 2,539 homes that were sold. In Arcadia, there was 1,411. In Temple City, 134. Total from July 2025 to 2026, there was 4,084 homes sold in those three cities alone. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because, yes, the market is a little bit unique right now, but at the end of the day, houses are still selling and there are definitely still buyers out there as well, right? So if you need the exact people to reach out to possibly get a listing or even just find a buyer, let me know, whether it's AI, whether it's farming, market reports, data, market data. I am really good with numbers. I will crunch all the numbers for you and I will literally, make it so easy for you to reach out to these people. As long as you're doing your due diligence and marketing, then that's all that matters, right? And then at the end of the day, and I'll kind of wrap up with this, is that if you ever have any title questions just in general and you need someone to call and you don't need AI, you don't need farming, you don't need any of that, then just call me. My line is always open and I will always answer your calls, text messages, emails, all that good stuff. Thank you.
No, that's cool. Thank you for the spin on the sales market history. And if you guys stay tuned for the near the end of the sales meeting, I'll give you a more of a California market update as well. So we'll have some slides to share and go through it. So that brings me to my portion. I'm going to start sharing my screen, guys. Hopefully you can see what's going on. So let's start off with a little bit of education and classes for learning opportunities. With the Arcadia Association of Realtors, there's an upcoming calendar. Those of you who want to kind of go through with Joel Carlson, who's a great speaker, he's teaching the BRBC form. The YPN Top Producers is putting together a panel at Italian Steakhouse. That's really cool at Dominico's. So join on July 30th and tomorrow, and you could get a free session with some top producers sharing some of their best practices in real estate, some tips and tricks that they do. Why not? And you get free food. So check that out over there tomorrow. When co-owners disagree, oh my goodness, I just had a property sale listing where I had, as a broker, had to step in to get the sellers to agree to something. And just letting you know, if you have a situation like that in your deals, there are things that are a way to legally partition a property and a sale. So that's one strategy. If you don't know what a partition action is, it's when, like maybe a divorcing couple disagree. One wants to sell, one does not. There are things that are real issues that our clients are suffering from or dealing with, and why not know some of the solutions for them? So they're having a commercial mixer, and they're going to talk about artificial intelligence and search engine optimization. If you're into marketing, this is a good class for you. Legal update with Kelly Richardson, and let's see what here. Preventative property management. Okay, so you into managing properties, dealing with remediation or complaints from tenants or various hazards that are on your properties, definitely should be preventative instead of reacting to a lawsuit or litigation. Why not be proactive? See where the weaknesses or vulnerabilities of your certain property or management or tenant situations and get ahead of the curve. If you want to learn about probate, we got Justin Xiao talking about probate and giving an introduction. So a lot of stuff for the next month. Even if you want to watch the AAR baseball night and watch the Angels play against the Philadelphia Phillies. Other than that, you got other stuff going on like the Thrive Broker Summit. That sounds interesting. This is going to be in Huntington Beach, but this is more a paid event. Let's go to the West San Gabriel calendar of events as well. And here we can see that they do have committee meetings. Let's see here. Education, commercial real estate with Jolene too. She's going to talk a little bit about immigration updates. I'm sorry. Other than that, I see here there's orientation. You can meet with our assemblyman who's in the West San Gabriel region. AI for Real Estate 2.0 with Derek Talbert. So these are the stuff for the next month. Other than that, those are committee meetings. Okay. Moving on to something you just wanted to make sure you're aware of is this 21st Century Road to the Housing Act now officially became law as of a couple of weeks ago. Donald Trump, I think, did not sign the legislation, but it passed through the Senate and the House. Overwhelmingly, our legislative representatives did push this through to help housing and affordability. What does this mean for us as realtors and for the consumer? Ultimately, it's just expanding and putting some protections in place and trying to make it easier to solve our affordability crisis going on right now. So it's really just starting. They're going to start introducing different types of pilot programs and grants. And ultimately, this is a federal thing. So this is nationwide. What we're going to see is the key provisions here from written by the CAR. Institutional investors, they're going to make a ban for Wall Street firms like BlackRock or major corporate investors like Open Door who are purchasing single family homes as a rental property and it's going to block them. I think they're saying no more than 400 homes. It's a ridiculously large amount, but after they purchase 400 homes, they cannot buy any more. Zoning overhauls. This is a $200 million grant pool to incentivize various municipalities that remove restrictive zoning laws, such as restrictive zoning could be something like an ordinance where certain communities like Sequa in California are preventing environmental challenges for development in certain areas that are undeveloped. So maybe there are certain things that will help communities do some development and overcome certain zoning restrictions. Mortgage access is here a HUD pilot program, the Housing and Urban Development, to make more, a little bit more availability of small dollar mortgages under 100,000. When you tell your lender you want to take a loan out for 50, $75,000, some lenders don't even want to do all that work because this amount of work is about the same if you're doing standard doc, full doc loan program. And if they're only selling you $75,000 worth of mortgage, some of the lenders are not so happy or they want a larger loan amount. But anyway, this is going to make it a little bit more affordable to have borrowers who only just need a little bit. Maybe it's just to get them over the edge or whatnot. So that's the CAR's take. But if you look at my screen here, um, this is the full amount of initiatives that our legislators have put together for us to solve our shortage of housing. So ultimately, it's going to kind of streamline some of the regulatory barriers for development. So they're going to try to have pre-approved home designs. Builders can get the permits faster. So that streamlining should help a lot of builders and local investors get their projects out faster, and their cost of the holding cost is always factored into the developer's model, where if they have to, take 9 months to get an ADU approved or 1 year to get a house permitted, if they could shorten that just by 25, 35%, that makes the cost to the buyer much lower because the builder doesn't have to hold it for so long. The HUD programs are going to have updated rules, and they're going to have a little bit more banking operation enhancements, such for rural areas that are agricultural, for example. So that's the full write-up. We'll see how it turns out, but just letting you know, it did pass both House and Senate. In terms of the market update, this is just written where small business does bounce back from June. There's a little bit of confidence or optimism from the businesses out there, but at the same time, we're still, dealing with the U.S.-Iran ceasefire memorandum, and we don't know what's going on with the geopolitical tensions going on. But ultimately, rates are still high. That's the flat. That's the inflation is still there, and not in control. So most owners are kind of raising their prices or services. So we're starting to see that inflation is creating more upward pressure. So this will probably, if inflation is not controlled, our rates are still going to be at the same levels or higher. Okay. U.S. new home sales bounce back, but sales in the West do plunge to a 12-year low. So we've definitely had 12 straight years of consistent good volume and sales. And in California, especially, we do see that as a broker wide and LA County wide, I'm starting to see volume slip. People are not selling because they're locked into their existing rates and their existing property. Buyers can't buy because of the affordability crisis. So we're in a mucky area where the last 12 months has been slightly just causing longer days on market, longer time to get some property sold, and educating our clients where we're at in the current market and how much competition. It always falls to supply and demand, and at this point in time, there's a little bit more supply than demand. Okay. So the builder confidence, this is declining. So there's not a lot of builders out there with the confidence to go build projects. because the mortgage rates still remain elevated, so their carrying cost for the developer on the construction loans also is going to be high. So there's not a lot of confidence there. Foreclosures are up from last year, and there is still racial inequality in various homeowners insurance premiums. So this is just something that they're investigating right now. So that's the write-up for this market update. Other than that, just want to let you know that there still is the Reimagine Expo, October 6th through 8th. So it is a free event if you want to join the free day, October 7th and 8th. And there's also a lot of classes that are paid for a whole day of other classes and seminars. So if you want to go to Reimagine Expo to register, and that will be where you can get your free ticket. Okay. Other than that, I'll get into Jordan Levine's housing outlook. This was just written about 5 days ago. Hopefully you guys can see my screen good. And let me get into the slide. Hopefully this will, sometimes this slows down my internet. Okay, do you guys see these slides right now?
Yeah.
Not yet? I
Oh.
don't even see it either. This slows down my internet. I'm gonna just do it from here. Okay, so this is the price of oil. As you can see in the last coming days, oil spiked to almost 138 per barrel, and now we're modestly around $82 a barrel. So, why are we tracking oil? That's because it's the energy cost. Just keep in mind, guys, the reason this inflation all really started to peak and become very expensive from the Iran war, we can see the mortgage rates started to climb back up. And that's because energy costs still are high. And oil is a major factor of where our energy has come from. And so this is just very mindful of us to see what's the California cost of gas. We're starting to see it roughly around regular unleaded gas, 5.50 a gallon, while the USA national average is around $4 a gallon. So, but we're used to this. Californians are always getting ripped off. We always pay more because we have a summer blend and a winter blend. And at the end of the day, it's just our regulations here. Inflation is getting worse recently. We're currently at 3.5%, where we want to be under 3% is the target and the goal. So actually, it's technically closer to 2 is where we want to be. But at the end of the day, you can see here the last several months, we've been above the green line. So that means our federal chairs, the ones that vote on the rates for the 10-year Treasury, are going to be less optimistic about the economy because our inflation is getting worse. So the probability of our same people that I was talking about, the chairmen of the board, they're a 70% chance they're leaning towards a rate hike and a 30% chance it'll stay the same or cut the rates. So practically nobody in the last several months, none of these chairs want to cut rates. They're not finding that the inflation is coming down to line. A majority of our people here are saying it's going to be a rate hike. That is going to be worse for the affordability crisis we're in. Next slide. Hold on. And here's the 10-year Treasury, where the 30-year fixed rate mortgage always should be pretty much at or above the 10-year Treasury. Why would any lender want to give you a loan at, for example, 6.4%, right? 6.4, 6.5%, if they can receive a guaranteed 10-year Treasury bond for only 10 years, and this is guaranteed versus a 30-year fix that the buyer could default. The buyer could do, there's a lot of more risk. So that's why you see the gold line, the Treasury yield. There is a correlation between the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. The fixed rate should be higher. So we are in a K-shaped economy, and that's the top end of the people are doing well. Probably some of the professionals that have keeping their job, and there's a lot of people who are high executives or paid. They're doing well in terms of business, but you can see here that there are parts of the businesses or various types of sectors that are sinking or stagnating, and it's really tough for a lot of different types of other businesses. You're starting to see a lot of layoffs. I have a couple of friends that I know, Berkeley graduates, who have been laid off in the last month. And so there are artificial intelligence plays where they're taking over some of the jobs of some workers. Companies are downsizing, they're less optimistic, so they're reducing their sales force or their salaries and not spending so much on in expansion. This is the forward price to earnings ratio of the S&P 500. That is pretty much the major 500 companies in the stock market. And what you're seeing here is the average line is 15 forward earnings, but the stock market is most people are valuations are closer towards 41 price to earnings ratio. What does that mean? Ultimately, that just means that the price people are trading the stocks today are trading at a high PE ratio would mean that they're paying for a company with forward projected earnings that is much, much more higher projections. You have to hold it for longer than a very moderate area of 15. Okay. So consumer debt, auto loans is on the rise. Consumer CCS should be consumer credit cards. And you can see here the national debt of all of our consumers is probably the highest it's ever been since the last 20 years. There's a lot of people putting things on a credit card or they're taking out auto leases and have not paid them off. Um, Consumer sentiment is at an all-time low. This is even lower than the 1980 crash in real estate. So people are very negative outlook for the foreseeable future. These are all various types of measuring tools and surveys done. So what does this mean for housing? Well, single family home sales, roughly around 280,000 California sales. This is existing single family home sales when you look at it as volume. In years, you can see here the last 3 years have been stagnant in California, when just in 2021 and 2020, you can see here that we're at elevated levels around 400,000 sales per year. So this is concerning. You can see here in 2026, the blue lines, that Southern California, they only have a 2% growth in sales. More sales are happening statewide. They're more happening in the Bay Area or North Central California. As far as home growth in terms of price segments, you can see here that most of the 2026 year-to-date sales, they fall in the $4 million categories. There are people who want to exit, and these are actually the trend. What I'm seeing from this is the really, really high-end properties are the ones that are selling. So these are luxury celebrities, athletes, or corporate executives. They're selling their $5 million mansions, and they're probably moving out of state where there's probably a little bit better environment for businesses or executives and less taxation. And the next segment we're finding here, let's see, what about home prices? What's that going to mean to our prices today? Well, prices of the median still are relatively still elevated. Month to month is down, but year over year, it's basically the same. There's nothing much to say. Our this is what I predicted. I said is we're going to have the same exact pricing. It's not going to go up. It's not going to crash. So what does that mean in terms of existing median closed price segment? What this tells us here is about 467 price per square foot. That's the median for California. Active listings, you can see there is a rise of active listings in the last 6 months. More homes are taking longer to sell. And this is the statistics you could use to tell your sellers why if you're going to put your listing in the MLS and compete against all these remaining existing inventory, you got to price yours attractively. Get the buyers to come see it. New listings that added to the MLS. We don't have too many, but year over year, this is much less. So sellers are kind of locked in, like I told you. So that's it for the pretty much most of the slides. It is taking 26 days to uh to close a sale out. Current inventories and median days active is 51 days. That means you have 50 days of being at open houses before you can get it under a contract. 36% are going above asking price. And the next slide is how many, more than 50% are selling below the asking price. So that tells us the buyers have the leverage to negotiate price down. Putting this all together, they forecast maybe a 1 point, this is not too important for us. That's it for the rest of the economic update. I wanted to share one thing about a quick guide about sharing any reports and repairs that you do on a property. So let's say you have a listing. As a listing agent, sellers do have to disclose known defects and even the repairs that they've done. Just to keep in mind that if you have a previous defect, let's say there was a roof leak, or let's say there was a water plumbing leak, and you repaired it, that's fine. It's still a material fact, even if you already replaced the water heater or you already worked on the roof. So what does that mean? Well, what would you say? In 2025, there was a ceiling leak at my northwest bedroom. I repaired my roof and changed out the brand new shingles, and um, that's all the seller has to do, disclose the problem and then share what's been done, like the repair. Plumbing leak in the water heater. The water heater broke down, it leaked on the floors and the wood. I replaced them with the wood and the water heater in 2027 or 2026, and a brand new water heater, 40-gallon, was purchased. So whatever it is, a buyer will be able to feel comfortable with the purchase when you're being truthful. And every home has problems, so no one's really I prefer a seller being truthful than saying, "Oh, everything looks good, everything looks good. I don't know of any defects." The ones that do share are preventing liability, and that's what we have to advise our clients. Now, if you get a copy of an inspection report, let's say that buyer cancels the transaction. Well, we do have maybe an inspection report that was given to us from the buyer, and we do have a contractor quote for the new roof and the new plumbing repair, whatever it is. If you have reports, the question is, do you have to share this in terms of relation of the when you sell it to the next buyer? If these are what's called third-party actual reports, yes, you do need to share the facts. Okay? So it would be better to share the document itself to the buyer, such as a prior inspection report or a prior termite report or a quote for a electrical replacement. But at the same time, these documents should be given to even to the next buyer, and that's legally allowed. So does the disclosure have to be made no matter how long ago the repair took? So per the car, if you repaired a water heater in 2005, 26, 21 years ago, that's still supposed to be disclosed. To me, I say it's not an issue, but at the same time, if you did that work, there is no time frame from the question. So whenever you're guiding your clients, This is anything they can think of. They can go however far back they want to go. If they repaired, they painted at a long time ago, or they did this and that, it's better to write the truth and just be truthful to the best of their estimate. They don't have to write a month. They can just write 2008. Okay. Um, a real estate licensee should hold all of your reports and documents for your transaction 3 years after it closes. So that hasn't changed. And if you have a possession of an inspection report paid for and obtained by a previous buyer, this is something where they're telling you this could be considered as non-transferable. So if you have a third-party report, an inspection report, um, the facts may may be shared, but maybe the report should be limited or not fully transferred. Okay. So they're advising not to share this report. Okay. Alrighty. Any questions on anything going on in your business? All right, I'm going to jump into our listings then, guys. Thank you for your patience. MLS is pulling up right now. And just an FYI, my family will be going on a 1 week vacation next week, so I won't be physically in the office, but you can still call or text me if you need me. All right, all residential and commercial listings. I'm gonna start pulling it up. Thank you. All right, we got 11129 Canyon Meadows. This is in Whittier. Very beautiful home. They're going to have open house this weekend. This is Helen Ma's new listing, and it's a $1.285999 million and beautiful property. There's a very nice location. It's got the hillside views. You are near Rose Hills though, but this is a nice 3,000 square foot large home for only 418 per square foot. That's pretty good. Okay. Oh, look at that. This is definitely a 1980s build. My old house had these kind of mirrored panel closet walls. Um, and obviously you can see what's going on and the activities from both angles in this jacuzzi hot tub. Tony, that one's for you. 418 Dannemere Ave, Arcadia. We got a gorgeous, lovely home for rent, 6,800 per month, 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, 3,658 square feet. Uh, what we got here is a lovely home, it's move-in ready, nice and open, big tall ceilings. Good, congratulations. This is for Amy Toe, her new listing for rent. 921 Shasta Street in West Covina. We got a 920,000 single family, big lot, big house. 920,000 is a pretty good deal. We got a remodeled property as well in West Covina. This is a great location. Look at this kind of character in this property, open area, separate family room, and wow, frameless shower glass, remodeled very nicely. To me, it shows well. Photos are attractive, tasteful colors. It's got a pool. So talk to your clients if you got anyone at 920. It's nice property over here. Congratulations to Lorena Leung on her new listing. And 3975 Barrett Road, Los Angeles, near the El Sereno neighborhood. We have a $1.2 million house for sale, recently built in 2003, 3 beds, 2 baths. And you can see here it's got nice second floor balcony from the living room. That's a great photo. And you can see it's just got a nice kitchen, a very warm home, place to call home. Congratulations to Sylvia and Mark Ramos on their new listing. And we have 565 Sierra Vista, San Marino. $6,500 per month, and you can be in San Marino and within San Marino schools. This is a prestigious neighborhood right here. Great location. It looks like it's a 3 bedrooms with almost 2,400 square feet. Priced pretty attractively. And yeah, looks great. Congratulations to Steve Hang on his new listing. And 974 Darfield in Covina. 3,000 per month. We got 3 beds, 2 baths, 1416 square feet. Very lovely home for rent. Congratulations to Steve Hang on this one as well. And 3827 Esmeralda Unit B in El Monte. 1,800 month for rent. 2 bedrooms, 1 baths for this little, cute little studio here. It's brand new. It's beautifully constructed, junior ADU in El Monte. And so they're getting new construction, new showers, new what's called the split HC. And this is with Carmen Lee. Talk to Carmen if you have anyone interested in renting a brand new unit. This is the front home as well, same location with Carmen, and this is a remodeled front home for 2,300, and you get the whole front house. To me, I'd probably choose this one. This is it's nice remodeled. You get the front, larger square footage, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. And there it probably is right here, a new constructed ADU. Actually, I'll go for this one. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, brand new construction. Carmen Lee's got this 3 units on this house, ready to go for rent and probably be a nice rental property for a long time for them. So talk to Carmen if you have anyone renting for El Monte. We have 614-620 North Mar Vista in Pasadena. $4.8 million for a 12-unit apartment. Really good deal. It's only $350 a square foot, so priced attractively, about $400,000 per door. And inside, here's one of the units, so you can see what it looks like. They're probably all what, 2 bed, 1 baths? Oh, 3 bedroom, 1.5 floor plan. So every single one is 3 beds, 1.5 bath. 4.8 million. Talk to Amy if you have anyone looking or interested in an apartment. That's not a bad deal. Well, it all depends on the income. 100 Alameda, 244, Los Angeles, 2000. This is pending, so congrats to our listing agent, Lawrence Lau. And we have Muscatel. This is 6505 Muscatel in San Gabriel, one of our beautiful listings over here. They built a nice remodeled interior, gorgeous. To me, I like the photos. It's very attractive. It looks very clean. And you can be here in San Gabriel for 1.8 million, 5 bedrooms. Congrats to Pat Pat on her new listing, and this does have Temple City Schools in this location. So and hope she gets a lot of offers. 16810 Winona Street in Victorville is 445,000. It's a big lot of 18,400. This is Mr. Jung Kwong and his new listing on this Hilltop Dome house. And 2,500 Ganal is pending. It's going to close within the week. As well as Record Avenue is going to close. This is listing agent Michael Dang. All right, that's it for the listings. Let's get into a couple of our closers, and we'll go to questions and any questions. All right, here are going to be our sales. 1812 Marengo in Alhambra just closed. Our listing agent got pretty much at the asking price. So good job to them. Got it just closed a couple days ago. And this is Anis Chow. Congrats to her on this Marengo Ave Alhambra condo, townhouse. And 24371 St. James Drive in Moreno Valley. Beautiful home, 559,000 sold with Mr. Chris and Whitney on. So it was Whitney's first listing. I'm very proud of this young girl who sold one of her relatives' property and she got them 10,000 over asking. So great job to Whitney and Chris. 4242 Maxon in Almonte just got pending. Since it's pending, I'll share that later on. 4532 Walnut Street in Baldwin Clark. This is 1.3 million for a nice remodel property. Congrats to Rodney Ruiz for getting this one closed. And our other sales would be from the buy side. Let me just pull up the last couple of weeks and thanks for this. We have 3227 Del Mar Boulevard, Pasadena. Our buyer's broker is purchased over asking. They have a nice Pasadena property near Chapman Woods area. And we can see here, this is with Henry Liu. Congrats on his purchase and getting this nice little property for his client. 118 Ashford Place in Fullerton just closed, right around that asking price. And this is purchased with Abraham Sulistio. Congrats to him. Good job, Abraham. 1190 Lorraine Road in San Marino. Fleming Chu sold this one, 442,500. And yes, his client paid 400,000 over asking. But this is a gorgeous home and you can't beat this location. So congrats to Fleming and his client. 26104 Dresea in Moreno Valley. Alicia Valencia closed this for at asking price. Congrats to Alicia and her beautiful home right here for her clients. 222 Maricopa, Irvine. This is a new build. Sold full price. And I believe this is Clinton Chung. I remember paying him out. Clinton got this purchase and negotiated a heck of a deal. And this builder happened to be offering buyer's brokers 8% commission. Yes, I did not stumble. I did not stutter. 8% commission. If you times it by the full price, guess how much that is? It's a lot of money. 1310 Orange Grove in Unit 103, Pasadena. 580,000 for this condominium. 2 beds, 2 baths, 1,057 square feet. This just closed. Congratulations to Tony Crespo. Congratulations, that's your sale right here. So his buyer, hopefully they're happy here in Pasadena. 1840 Chapel in Alhambra. Sold over asking, 1.255 million. Purchased with Kathleen Vong. And that's going to bring me to the end of the MLS sales history. Anybody have any questions or any issues on your deals? All right, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks when I get back from my cruise. I'll be leaving Friday, so text me if you guys need me in the meantime. All right. Thanks for being here, staying till the end.